The forgotten myths across the galaxy. Humans were only whispers, forgotten legends told to frighten young aliens before bedtime. In the distant corners of star systems, elders would speak of a species that could survive anywhere, adapt to anything, and emerge victorious from impossible odds. Most dismiss these stories as exaggerations or myths, relics of a time when humans supposedly roamed the stars. But legends, as the galaxy was about to learn, were never entirely false. Deep in the orbital command center of the Zalari Council, alarm lights blared, casting harsh red glows across the faces of alien leaders. Sensors, usually calm and precise, were now pulsing erratically, detecting a massive energy signature approaching from uncharted space. The reading was unlike anything known, raw, immense, and impossible to categorize. Impossible, hissed High Counselor Thrax, his 6 eyes narrowing. This energy, it cannot be. It does not match any known civilization's technology. Could it be a new species? One younger council member asked nervously. Thrax's gaze was sharp. No, it cannot be new. It feels ancient, familiar somehow. Meanwhile, across distant star systems, fleet commanders scrambled to interpret the data. Alien historians whispered of old human myths, tales that spoke of ships that could move faster than light with almost a will of their own, vessels that were alive, intelligent, and deadly. But no one had seen humans for centuries. The stories had faded into bedtime tales, entertainment for children and warnings for fools. High-energy readings are stable, reported a sensor officer aboard the Zalari command ship. It's approaching the outer rim. Its trajectory suggests no collision, but the energy output, it's enormous. Could it be a warship? Thrax slammed a clawed hand on the table. A warship? From who? There are no humans. Humans are myth! Yet the readings continued to climb. The signature was not only massive, it moved with deliberate precision, adjusting its course slightly, as if aware of being watched. Alien scientists struggled to interpret the patterns, each calculation more confusing than the last. In another sector, smaller alien factions noticed the same phenomenon. Panic began to spread. Sensors detect it, one officer whispered over encrypted comms. Whatever it is not natural. It is alive, and it knows we are watching. Across the galaxy, debate raged. Some councils assumed it was a trap, a weapon of unimaginable scale left by some extinct civilization. Others believed the myths might be real. The very idea that humans, long considered legends, could have returned terrified even the bravest. At the central star observatory of the Orvax Dominion, astronomer Yelka stared at the flickering holographic display. The readings. They are like nothing we've ever seen. The myths spoke of ships that could predict attacks, adapt instantly, and strike without warning. Could this be them? Her assistant froze, eyes wide. You mean the humans? The stories are true? Yelka shook her head slowly. I don't know. But the energy signature is theirs. It has to be. Back at the Zalari Command Center, Thrax called for a full council meeting. We are facing something from our oldest legends. If humans are returning, we cannot underestimate them. We must prepare for anything. As debates continued, the energy signature drew closer to known space. It pulsed like a heartbeat, each pulse resonating across communication arrays, subtly shaking even the most advanced senses. Alien fleets positioned themselves at strategic points, unsure whether they were preparing for a welcome or a war. High Counselor Thrax paced nervously. Legends are dangerous, he muttered. We dismissed them as stories, and now they come back. We are unprepared, and we do not even know their intentions. Across the void, a faint shimmer appeared. At first, it was subtle, almost imperceptible against the blackness of space. Then, like a phantom emerging from myth, the silhouette of a massive vessel began to take shape. It was unlike anything documented, angular yet sleek, enormous yet agile, radiating energy that no alien science could measure. The council fell silent. Even the youngest officers could feel it, the weight of history, the awakening of a legend long thought extinct. Humans, whispered one of the older historians, trembling. They are real, and they are coming. The galaxy, for all its vastness and knowledge, had never faced something like this before. The myths had returned, not as stories, but as a living, moving force. And in the heart of the council chambers, panic and awe mingled as the impossible became reality. What had been dismissed as bedtime tales was now approaching their systems, with an unknown purpose and a power beyond comprehension. The forgotten humans were back, and the galaxy would never be the same. The galaxy had never seen anything like it. From the edge of known space, alien scouts reported a fleet emerging from hyperspace. Massive, sleek, and unlike anything recorded in history. Energy fields shimmered around each ship, pulsing with an intelligence that no alien technology could explain. In the Zalari Command Center, alarms blared again. "Visual confirmation," shouted a sensor officer. "Multiple unidentified ships detected. They are enormous and moving in perfect formation." High Counselor Thrax's 6 eyes widened. "Impossible. These can't exist. Humans are myths, legends. They cannot." At the council chamber erupted in chaos. Advisors shouted over each other, debating whether to launch a preemptive strike or attempt communication. Fear spread faster than any order could be given. Every alien commander felt it. The presence of a force beyond comprehension, a fleet that dwarfed their largest armadas. Meanwhile, the ships themselves moved silently, almost alive, their engines glowing with a low, steady hum. Energy pulses ran along the hulls like veins, responding to unseen commands. Alien sensors could only register the effect of the ship's movements, not the intelligence behind them. Every adjustment, every maneuver seemed calculated to perfection. In the Orvax Dominion, Astronomer Jelka stared at her display, speechless. It's them," she whispered. "The humans. All the stories. They were real." Her assistant shook his head. "Impossible. The myths. We thought they were exaggerations. How can they?" Jelka held up a hand. "Look at their formation. Every ship moves like part of a single organism. That energy, it's not random. It's alive." Across the galaxy, alien fleets scrambled. Factions that had never coordinated before were now trying desperately to form a united front. Messages flew across communications, warning allies to prepare for possible conflict. Yet no one dared approach too closely. The human fleet seemed to anticipate their movements even from afar. Back on the Zalari command ship, Tactical Officer Vaughn tapped rapidly on the console. "High Counselor, their formation is constantly adapting. Every attempt we make to flank them is countered before we even complete it. Sensors indicate an intelligence controlling the fleet beyond our calculations." Thrax clenched his claws. "Humans, they are alive in more ways than one, and they've returned." As the alien fleets debated and repositioned, the human armada continued its steady advance. Ships glided past distant planets, their presence sending subtle gravitational ripples that disrupted space traffic and communication arrays. Nothing fired yet, nothing attacked. And yet every alien commander felt the weight of inevitability. The humans were not here by accident. On a distant observation station, Scout Commander Ralthak squinted at the display. "They're coordinating," he muttered, "as if they know our every move before we make it." A younger officer shook his head. "It can't be. The legends said humans could survive anything, but controlling a fleet like that? Impossible." Yet impossible was exactly what they were witnessing. The human fleet approached a neutral star system, the first of many in its path. Sensors detected no aggressive weapons fired, yet every alien outpost went on high alert. The fleet moved with precision and purpose, each ship in perfect alignment. The energy fields surrounding the vessels crackled faintly, like static electricity dancing across steel. High Counselor Thrax raised his voice, attempting to regain control. "We must communicate, warn them, or negotiate. They may not be hostile yet. But if they are, this entire galaxy could be lost." A tactical officer leaned forward, pointing at the sensors. "Counselor, they're scanning us, not with weapons, but with some form of energy pulse. It's subtle, but it's probing every system we have. I think they know our weaknesses already. Thrax's eyes narrowed. Legends or not, we are dealing with humans, and legends never die quietly. Across the command centers of smaller alien factions, whispers spread like wildfire. The myths were real, one said. The humans are back, and they are not like anything we imagined. In the void, the human fleet glided closer to the inner systems. Sensors barely captured their massive forms. Even the most advanced alien technology struggled to measure their speed, their formation, or the strange energy that seemed to power them. It was as if the ships themselves were alive, aware, intelligent, and impossible to challenge. Jelka turned to her assistant, voice barely audible. If this is the first glimpse, imagine what comes next. And across the galaxy, every species that had ever dismissed humans as myths began to realize the terrifying truth. The legends were alive, and the humans' return was only the beginning. The galaxy was on edge. Every alien fleet, from the largest empires to the smallest factions, watched in awe and fear as the human armada continued its steady approach. Sensors tracked every movement, yet none could fully explain the intelligence behind the fleet. It was alive, aware, and precise beyond imagination. High Counselor Thrax slammed his claws on the council table. We cannot wait any longer. Send a warning. Communicate with them. Tell them to halt, or the galaxy may face annihilation. A junior officer hesitated. Counselor, communication attempts may be risky. Their energy fields interfere with transmissions. Any message we send could be intercepted or misinterpreted. Do it, Thrax roared. Humans may be legends, but even legends can destroy entire civilizations if ignored. Across the void, alien messages crackled through space, traveling toward the advancing fleet. Diplomatic envoys urged caution, hoping that reason and warning might prevent catastrophe. We are peaceful, their signals declared. Turn back before conflict begins. You are approaching unknown territory. Your arrival may be seen as hostile. The human fleet did not halt. No response came. Instead, the ships adjusted their formation slightly, engines pulsing softly, as if acknowledging the warnings without concern. Energy ripples flowed outward from the fleet, subtly probing alien sensors, testing their reactions. On the Zalari flagship, Sensor Officer Varn reported nervously, High Counselor, the warnings are being ignored. They are not hostile, but they are aware of us. They are evaluating. Thrax's voice trembled with a mixture of fear and disbelief. Evaluating? How can a fleet evaluate an entire galaxy? They are humans, myths, stories. They should not be real. Yet here they are, ignoring every warning, every plea. In the Orvax Dominion, astronomer Jelka watched her holographic display with growing unease. They know we are trying to communicate, she murmured. But it's as if they understand our intent better than we do. Every energy pulse, every adjustment in formation, it's deliberate. Her assistant swallowed hard. Do you think they can see our thoughts? Jelka shook her head slowly. No, but they understand patterns. They anticipate our next move before we make it. Humans were always legends for a reason. Across the galaxy, panic spread like wildfire. Some factions began mobilizing for preemptive strikes. Others hesitated, unsure whether to fight or surrender. Alien diplomats argued and shouted over each other, debating strategies that could not match the human intelligence before them. Meanwhile, the human fleet continued toward the inner systems. Not a single weapon fired, not a single threat approached. And yet the tension in every command center was unbearable. Fleets moved with caution, afraid to act, unsure of what the humans intended. A small alien reconnaissance ship attempted a daring approach. Its captain sent a simple signal. We come in peace. Turn back. We warn you. Humans, please heed the message. The fleet's response was subtle yet terrifying. A ripple of energy passed through the Armada, scanning the tiny vessel, measuring every system, every weakness. Within moments, the reconnaissance ship was safely pushed back, unharmed but shaken, as if the human fleet had sent a silent message: we see everything, and we control the encounter. In the Zilari council chambers, a murmur spread among the members. If they can do this without firing a single weapon, imagine if they decide to attack. Thrax's 6 eyes burned with anxiety. We cannot assume their purpose is peaceful or malicious. All we can do is wait and hope we survive the encounter. On board the human flagship, Captain Marcus Hale observed the galaxy's responses through advanced sensors. They think they can warn us, threaten us, or influence us, he said quietly to his first officer. Legends forget that humans never wait for permission. We decide our own path. Lieutenant Kara Voss studied the approaching fleets. Captain, the alien factions are panicking. They've never seen a force like this. Their warnings are meaningless. They don't understand what they're facing. Hale's lips curved into a faint smile. Let them try to warn us. Myths are strongest when others doubt them. The galaxy will learn the truth soon enough. As the Armada advanced, the energy signature from Part 1 had transformed into a full display of human ingenuity and power. Every ship responded to unseen commands, adapting instantly to alien movements, scanning threats, and maintaining formation with flawless precision. The legends were alive, and they were patient, watching, waiting for the right moment to strike or reveal themselves fully. The alien fleets, despite their size and numbers, were left paralyzed by awe and fear. Warnings had failed, diplomacy had failed, observation alone could not prepare them for the reality of humans returned from myth, and in the darkness of space, the human armada continued its inexorable approach, a silent force, alive with intelligence and intent, letting the galaxy know in no uncertain terms. Legends are not to be dismissed. The silence of space was broken only by the faint hum of energy rippling through the void. The human fleet, long whispered about in myths, was no longer just a story. It had arrived, alive and unstoppable, gliding through the stars like a predator, aware of every movement around it. Across alien command centers, panic reached new heights. Every sensor struggled to measure the fleet's full scale. It was larger than any recorded armada, but it was not sheer size that terrified observers. It was the precision, the coordination, and the intelligence behind every movement. High Counselor Thrax banged his claws on the command table. Every attempt to flank or intercept them has failed. Every strategy anticipated. Tactical simulations cannot keep up, reported Officer Vaughn, his antennae twitching nervously. They adjust instantly, faster than any AI or command system we have. It's like they can see the future. In the Orvax Dominion, astronomer Jelka and her assistant studied the human armada's formation. "Look at them," Jelka whispered. "Every ship reacts to every other ship, but as part of a single organism. It's impossible. They are alive together, not just individually." Her assistant swallowed hard. If this is just a glimpse, the full power. Before he could finish, the fleet pulsed. Energy shimmered along every hull, a low, almost imperceptible glow that spread through the formation like a heartbeat. Alien sensors went haywire, unable to distinguish engines from weapons or power from consciousness. On board the human flagship, Captain Marcus Hale observed the reactions of the alien fleets. "They're panicking," he said calmly. "Good. Let them see what humans can do without firing a single shot. Legends are strongest when fear precedes understanding." Lieutenant Kara Voss tapped her console. "Captain, their formations are changing. Every alien movement is countered before it happens. They're trying to contain us, and failing." Hale nodded. "Let them fail. Let them see that humans do not stumble, humans do not retreat. The Armada awakens not for war, yet, but for control." Across the galaxy, smaller alien factions tried to flee, sending out frantic warnings and calls for reinforcements. But the human armada's presence alone disrupted navigation, communications, and energy grids. Ships found themselves slowed, engines faltering, as if the fleet's sheer awareness reached into their systems, subtly asserting dominance. High Counselor Thrax stared at the tactical display, pale even for his species. Every weapon, every shield, every attempt at strategy, they can anticipate it. We have never faced anything like this. Meanwhile, human scouts patrolled the outer edges of the fleet, sending back data streams that revealed something terrifying to anyone who could understand it. Every human vessel, no matter its size, was linked to the flagship. Commands flowed like a pulse of life through the fleet, instant and precise. They were a single organism, a living weapon of myth brought to reality. In one remote quadrant, an alien patrol attempted to engage a single human ship, thinking to test its strength. The vessel responded without firing a weapon. A faint energy pulse disrupted the patrol's engines, sending it drifting helplessly. Its crew survived, but the message was clear. Humans control the battlefield before it begins. Jelka whispered to her assistant again. Do you understand? The legends weren't just stories. Humans have always been capable of this. We've underestimated them for centuries. The assistant shook his head. They're not just ships. They're a warning. They are evolution made physical. Back on the flagship, Hale observed the galactic chaos with calm precision. Let them tremble. Let them see what myths are capable of. We are here, we exist, and the galaxy will remember it. This is only the beginning. Energy pulses flowed outward from the fleet, sweeping across distant star systems. Alien ships that dared approach too closely found their sensors scrambled, weapons misfiring, and movements predicted and countered instantly. Even the bravest commanders hesitated, unsure if retreat was even possible without surrendering their pride or their lives. Across the galaxy, the word spread quickly. Whispers of the living fleet traveled faster than any ship could fly. Rumors, once dismissed as myth, were now reality. The humans had awakened, not as a single warship, but as an entire armada, alive, intelligent, and unstoppable. In the council chambers of the Zilari Command Center, Thrax clenched his claws in frustration. We cannot fight what we cannot predict. Every plan, every move, we are already behind. Vaughn's antennae twitched. They aren't attacking yet, but the presence alone, it's enough. It's control without aggression. Hale looked at Voss, voice calm but determined. Patience. Every empire will learn respect the hard way. The Armada is awake and it will decide the galaxy's future. Let them understand that humans are never to be underestimated. And in the void, the human armada glided forward, a living legend made real. Every ship pulsed with energy, every formation shifted with perfection, and every movement spoke a silent message to the galaxy. Humans are not myths. They are here, and they are alive. The tension in the galaxy had reached a breaking point. Alien fleets, once confident in their numbers and weapons, now hovered at the edge of known space, paralyzed by fear. The human armada had awoken fully, its ships alive with energy, moving with flawless precision, predicting every maneuver before it could even happen. High Counselor Thrax paced the Zilari command chamber, claws tapping nervously against the metal floor. We cannot wait any longer. They are at the borders of our systems. If we do not act now, they will overwhelm us before we can even react. Tactical simulations suggest, Vaughn said cautiously, any attempt at a coordinated strike will fail. The humans anticipate every move. Their fleet adapts instantly, like a single living entity, but desperation outweighed reason. Across the galaxy, alien commanders ordered a full engagement. Energy weapons powered up, shields flared, and fleets accelerated toward the human armada. They hoped to intimidate, to strike first, or to test the legends that had returned from myth. The human fleet did not falter. Its movements were calm, deliberate, almost meditative, as if aware of the approaching attack before it even began. Sensors aboard the alien vessels registered the humans' subtle adjustments, tiny shifts in formation, slight energy pulses along the hulls, anticipating every alien maneuver. Then the first shots were fired. Plasma beams and energy torpedoes streaked through space, aiming at the nearest human ships. Alien commanders expected chaos to follow, but instead, nothing happened. The beams curved mid-flight, diverted by invisible forces. Torpedoes fizzled harmlessly against shimmering energy fields. High Counselor Thrax froze, eyes wide. How is this possible? They haven't even responded. And our weapons fail. In the Orvax Dominion, astronomer Jelka watched the engagement unfold. It's like the ships themselves are alive. They're not dodging, they're controlling the battlefield. Every attack we see is already neutralized before it hits. The myths were understated. On board the human flagship, Captain Marcus Hale observed the alien fleets with a calm intensity. "Engage defensive systems," he ordered. "Do not fire yet. Let them feel their futility. Let them understand humans are not to be challenged lightly." Lieutenant Kara Voss monitored the alien weapons in real time. "Captain, every alien attack is being countered without a single human shot. They can't comprehend it. Even their largest weapons are useless against us." The humans moved with fluid precision. Ships aligned, shifted, and formed barriers that redirected attacks away from each other. Alien fleets tried flanking maneuvers, hoping to find a weak point. But the Armada anticipated every tactic, closing gaps before they even appeared. Small alien scouts attempted desperate charges, ramming at the edges of the human formation. Within moments, they were disabled, their systems fried by precise energy pulses that left them intact but helpless. The fleet sent a silent warning: "Do not test the humans." Across the galaxy, whispers spread. They are real. The humans are real and unstoppable. In the Zilari command chamber, Thrax slumped into his chair. Every calculation, every strategy. We are defeated before battle even begins. And they haven't even attacked yet. Meanwhile, the human fleet began to counterattack, not with aggression, but with efficiency. Alien ships found themselves surrounded, systems failing, movements restricted. Communication arrays overloaded. Entire squadrons surrendered before a single human vessel fired a weapon. Jelka gasped. They're not just fighting, they're teaching a lesson, a demonstration of power without destruction. Yet, the largest alien armadas tried to retreat, but the human fleet anticipated even withdrawal patterns. Energy pulses disrupted engines, forcing retreat paths to slow. No one could escape. The humans controlled the battlefield in every sense. Captain Hale spoke to his crew calmly. "This is the first engagement. Remember, humans never strike recklessly. We teach before we punish. Today they learn fear. Tomorrow respect." Lieutenant Voss nodded. "It's like watching legends come alive, Captain. Every move precise, every reaction perfect. They are unstoppable, not because of weapons, but because they are humans." By the end of the battle, alien fleets were in disarray. Several surrendered entirely, while others retreated in confusion and terror. Not a single human vessel had been lost. The myth was no longer a story. It was reality, and the galaxy had witnessed the power of humans in their first engagement. Across command centers, the mood was the same: awe, fear, and disbelief. High Counselor Thrax muttered under his breath, "Legends never die quietly." And humans never wait for permission. The human armada remained poised, a calm predator in the void, ready for whatever came next. Their first engagement had sent a message clear across the stars. Humans were not to be underestimated. They were real, they were powerful, and they had returned. The first engagement had ended, and the galaxy was shaken to its core. Alien fleets that had once considered themselves invincible now whispered in fear of the human armada. Legends had walked among the stars again, and the consequences of underestimating humans were now painfully clear. High Counselor Thrax paced nervously in the Zilari command chamber. "Our fleets have survived, but only barely. The humans, they are not just ships. They are intelligence, strategy, and power combined. We need allies, or we will fall alone. Across the galaxy, smaller factions debated the same question. Should they side with the humans, attempt to resist them, or retreat to safety? Some saw opportunity in collaboration, hoping to gain favor with a force beyond comprehension. Others feared betrayal if they drew attention or appeared weak. In a neutral sector, a coalition of alien factions convened secretly. Diplomat Sakira spoke sharply, eyes narrowing at the assembly. We cannot ignore humans any longer. They are here, alive, and their technology surpasses everything we know. To resist them is to invite destruction. To join them may be our only chance, a rival representative hissed. Join them and become their subjects? We fought for centuries for independence. Never. We must resist. If we unite, we still stand a chance. Perhaps. But the human fleet moved with patience and intelligence. Captain Marcus Hale had observed the galaxy's divisions with careful interest. They argue, fight, and hesitate, he said to his first officer. Good. Confusion is as effective as weapons. Those who seek alliance will find it when it suits us. Those who resist will learn quickly. Lieutenant Kara Voss studied the communication logs from alien factions. Captain, some are trying to negotiate. Others are secretly preparing attacks or betrayals. The galaxy is fractured. They cannot unite against us, yet. Hale nodded. Exactly as planned. Humans thrive in chaos, in challenges, in the impossible. Let them stumble over their own pride while we decide our next move. Meanwhile, in the Zalari command chamber, Thrax received a message from a distant faction. We propose an alliance, the transmission read. Join with us to counter the human fleet. Together, we can survive this threat. Thrax hesitated. Or it is a trap, he muttered. Or a test. Humans see all. They know if we attempt deception. As the alien factions debated, a smaller group attempted a covert strike against a portion of the human fleet. Their ships moved quietly, hoping to avoid detection. But even in stealth, they could not hide from the humans' awareness. Energy pulses rippled subtly across the Armada, detecting the approach of the attackers. Before they could reach their target, engines failed, weapons misfired, and communications jammed. Their crews watched helplessly as the human fleet simply adjusted formation, leaving the would-be attackers stranded. Powerless and humiliated, across the galaxy, word spread quickly. Betrayal was impossible to conceal, and humans were aware of every attempt to deceive or strike. Fear became a tool, uniting some, dividing others, and ensuring that no faction could challenge the human armada openly. In the Orvax Dominion, Jelka whispered to her assistant, humans do not just fight, they see into the intentions of others. Alliances, betrayals, strategies, they are all visible to them. That is why the legends were never wrong. Humans are more than technology. They are instinct, intelligence, and foresight combined, her assistant shivered. They're unstoppable. Every alliance, every betrayal, it's like they control the galaxy without firing a single shot. Hale addressed his fleet. Let the galaxy tremble, but do not strike yet. Our goal is not total destruction yet. Let them understand who humans are and who they face. Respect, fear, and caution will spread faster than any fleet. And when they are ready, we will show them our true power. Alien commanders, learning of the failed covert attack, began to rethink their strategies. Alliances formed and dissolved in rapid succession, each faction unsure if it could trust the other, or if their human observers already knew their intentions. High Counselor Thrax sighed, exhaustion written across his face. We are surrounded by chaos, and the humans watch it all. We cannot unite against them. We cannot predict them. All we can do is wait, and pray they do not act with full force. Across the galaxy, the human armada glided forward, calm and patient, allowing the galaxy to unravel at its own pace. Every alliance, every betrayal, every hesitation was visible to them. They were no longer legends, they were reality, and the galaxy would bend before the strategy, foresight, and patience of humans awakened. The galaxy had never seen fear like this. Alien fleets, once proud and confident, now moved cautiously, aware that their legends, humans, had returned not just as stories, but as unstoppable reality. Every commander wondered the same question: when would the humans strike for real? High Counselor Thrax stared at the tactical display, claws gripping the edge of the table. We cannot hide forever. Every system they approach, every fleet they observe, they know our weaknesses. They see every hesitation, every doubt. We must decide now, fight or submit. Tactical analysis suggests that direct engagement is futile, Vaughn reported nervously. Every fleet we commit is countered before it acts. Even combined, we cannot challenge them without massive losses. Across distant sectors, alien diplomats sent urgent messages to one another. Some tried to form alliances, hoping to counter the human armada. Others sent emissaries to negotiate peace. But the humans did not respond in words. They responded in presence. Captain Marcus Hale observed the galaxy from the flagship bridge, calm and precise. "Let them argue, let them plan, let them hesitate," he said to Lieutenant Caravos. "Chaos is a tool. Fear is a weapon. The galaxy will learn to respect humans before they even fire a shot." Voss studied the display of alien fleets. "Captain, the Zelari are trying to form a coordinated strike. The Orvax are preparing reinforcements. The galaxy is about to react, but they still don't understand us." Hale nodded. "Good, let them prepare. Their arrogance will be their undoing. When we act, it will be swift, decisive, and unforgettable." In the Zelari command chambers, the alien fleets finally decided to act. Coordinated orders were given, weapons powered, and engines ignited. They would confront the humans, one last chance to prove that the legends were myths, that humanity was nothing more than a bedtime story. But the humans anticipated everything. Energy pulses from the Armada disrupted alien targeting systems, scrambled communications, and subtly shifted enemy movements. Each alien maneuver was countered before it began, leaving commanders in confusion and panic. A fleet of Zelari warships attempted a daring flanking maneuver, hoping to strike the human flagship directly. But as they approached, subtle gravitational distortions pushed their ships off course. Shields flickered, engines faltered, and the formation collapsed before it could even reach the target. Thrax shouted, "No! What is happening? How do they control everything?" Yelka, observing from the Orvax Dominion, whispered, "It's not just technology. Humans coordinate instinctively, like a single mind controlling all ships. They see us, all of us, every weakness, every flaw." Meanwhile, the humans remained calm. Captain Hale addressed his crew. "Let the galaxy feel the reckoning, not through destruction, but through clarity. Let them see humans as they truly are." Small alien factions tried to flee, hoping to avoid confrontation. But the human fleet anticipated every escape route. Subtle energy waves nudged them into containment fields, trapping them without damage, but leaving no doubt. Humans controlled the battlefield completely. In the council chambers, Thrax slumped into his chair, eyes wide with disbelief. "We are surrounded, observed, and outmatched without a single weapon fired. If this is the reckoning, what happens when they strike?" The human fleet had not fired a shot, yet the galaxy trembled. Energy pulses, formations, and the sheer presence of humans were enough to bend even the strongest fleets into submission. Commands became hesitant, fleets faltered, and the once proud alien empires began to realize the truth. Humans are no longer legends. They are rulers by default, not through tyranny, but through sheer mastery and foresight. Hale looked toward the approaching fleets, calm and unyielding. "The reckoning is here, not through fire, not through destruction, but through awakening. Let them understand humans never wait. Let them learn respect." As the fleets froze in awe and fear, whispers traveled across the galaxy. The humans are real. The legends were true. And now, the galaxy faces the reckoning. The humans had shown their power without firing a single weapon. Their intelligence, coordination, and patience had demonstrated superiority in a way that no alien fleet could challenge. The galaxy had learned a terrifying truth. Humans were unstoppable, not because of raw firepower, but because they were humans. Myth made real. The galaxy was silent, but not in peace. It was silence born of awe, fear, and understanding. The human Armada had completed its campaign, not by destruction, but by showing the full measure of human power and intelligence. Alien fleets hovered, their ships operational, but their crews shaken to the core. High Counselor Thrax sat in stunned silence, claws pressed against the table. "We have survived," he whispered, "but we have also learned the truth. Humans are not myths. They are beyond anything we imagined. We cannot fight them. We cannot ignore them. We must accept their legacy." The human flagship glided through space with calm authority. Captain Marcus Hale addressed his crew from the bridge. "We have shown the galaxy what it means to underestimate humans. We have not destroyed yet, but we have established one truth. Legends are not born. They are made real through courage, ingenuity, and will." Lieutenant Kara Voss nodded, watching the alien fleets. "They are terrified, but also awed. Every species we encountered will remember this. Humans are not just survivors. They are leaders, not by choice, but by nature." Across the galaxy, alien ambassadors transmitted messages of surrender, alliance, and negotiation. Some sought guidance, others sought mercy. All understood that humans had become the defining power of the stars. Jelka, observing from a remote outpost, whispered to her assistant, "They didn't just win, they changed the galaxy. Humans have rewritten history, not with fire but with presence, strategy, and vision." Her assistant nodded silently. "Legends, alive in the flesh. I never imagined such power, such intelligence, such control. Humans are unstoppable." Captain Hale stood on the bridge, eyes scanning the horizon. "This is only the beginning," he said softly. "The galaxy will speak of us in stories, as myths, but we know the truth. Humans are never to be underestimated. And now, every system, every empire, every species will remember it." Energy ripples from the Armada flowed through nearby star systems, stabilizing sectors damaged by prior conflicts and ensuring safe navigation. The human fleet did not pillage. It did not conquer. Its presence alone reshaped alliances, enforced respect, and instilled awe. In alien command centers, debates raged, but no plan could ignore the humans. The legends had returned, and their return was permanent. Every faction now understood. Humans were not a threat that could be destroyed. They were a standard against which all others would be measured. High Counselor Thrax addressed his council one final time. "We have seen them. We have survived, but we are forever changed. Humans are not to be challenged lightly. Their legacy is now ours to witness and remember." In the human flagship, Hale turned to his crew. "Prepare for the next phase," he ordered. This was the awakening. The galaxy knows us. Now we ensure that humanity's legacy is clear, respected, and unstoppable. Across the stars, whispers spread faster than any fleet could fly. The humans are real. The legends were true, and the galaxy will never forget them. From distant observation stations to imperial command centers, alien species began to adjust their strategies, their communications, their alliances. The galaxy had learned that myths could be deadly when they were true, and humans were the living proof. As the Armada moved through the cosmos, calm, precise, and aware, one truth echoed across every world. Humans are more than a legend. They are a force. They are a standard. They are the architects of the galaxy's future. And in the quiet of space, Captain Hale looked to the stars ahead. "Legends never die," he said softly. "They simply wait. To be realized, the galaxy had witnessed the impossible. The humans had returned, and their legacy had begun."